young, driven, ambitious, aspiring history teacher, and a prolific reader?
No. But anywho,
Over the course of this fall semester, I was placed at Waverly Middle School, where I worked with two Read 180 students. Both of my students were 8th graders. They were not close friends, but they did know each other because of past classes and friends. My first student was very reserved when I first met her, but over time we became very comfortable with one another. As the weeks went by, she would tell me about all the adventures she would go on with her girlfriend. The most memorable conversation we had had was when she asked me was I nervous about meeting my girlfriend's family. And well, I had to explain to her that I hadn't met her family just yet. Oops. Well, this is awkward. For my second student, I did not get a chance to work with him that much because he did not come to school a lot. He was very quiet, but we did get a chance to discuss sports and video games when he was present. Overall, my students came to a general consensus that they did not like reading, and A Dog's Journey did not make this any better. Sorry, Raven. Although they did not like reading, they did proactively engage in the literary strategies that we used. I found that both of my students were very competent readers, but depending on what was going on in the text, their interest levels would fluctuate. My first student struggled with keeping a consistent reading pace. This will cause her to skip punctuation and often will result in her reading a continuous run-on sentences. When we met, I will remind her that it's okay to slow down and read at your own pace, because ultimately you cannot rush your own comprehension. My second student struggled with pronunciation, which is understandable because it's something that we all struggle with at some point in our lives. In using the modified cognitive model, the perfect place to help my students was with expanding their vocabulary knowledge. I personally love learning new words, so this is something that satisfied me while doing this with my students. In essence, I was learning with my students, so this enriched my experience as well. I would have my students write down words they did not know, and we would use a dictionary to define them. This became a weekly practice because my students found this to be very interesting. In addition to expanding their vocabulary, incorporating real-life connections to the text was a big help as well. For example, the mother-daughter dynamic that the book portrays for Gloria and Clarity. This was something that we discussed in relation to our own real lives. Some feedback that one of my students wanted me to share is, I still don't like reading as much, even though I feel like I've changed as a reader somewhat. I really like the vocabulary builder. This helped me engage with words that I did not know. If I had a chance to participate in reading with a Michigan State University student, I would do it again, and allow me to choose the book next time.